Hi, and in this lesson we're going to start using AI and Photoshop to start creating we're going to start off very basic, but creating AI and design tools to see whether we can create something, I don't know, as simple as a movie poster, right? So before we get started, I just need to make sure that you need to have Photoshop installed, obviously, but with Photoshop, depending on when you're watching this video, Photoshop may have the AI features in its stable version. Currently, as of recording this video, it's currently only in their beta version. And if you are watching this and you do not see the features in your Photoshop, make sure that you head over to your Creative Cloud. Where is it? So make sure you head over to your Creative Cloud and you want to make sure that you have Photoshop updated. If it's still not there, then scroll all the way down to the bottom and you should see Photoshop here, which is similar to Aero, in which will say beta. You want to make sure that that is installed. Again, if the Photoshop generative AI stuff is already in the stable version, perfect, you don't need to do anything, just update your Photoshop and you're good to go. So, let's get started with our lesson. What you'll find if you go to your download project files, inside of lesson 4, you will find a file called movie poster start. We want to double click on that and open that up. Once that's up, we just have a blank template. Now the idea here is we're going to start off completely blank and we're going to use AI tools in as much as possible, but obviously we're still going to use some of our own skill sets to create the finished product, but we want to utilize as many AI tools as possible. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to head over to ChatGPT, which I'm sure everybody knows now, and with ChatGPT, I'm just going to open it up here. I'm going to ask it to create and give me a prompt. Now, if you don't know what a prompt is a set of phrases put into, in English, a set of phrases put into where you can feed it to the AI algorithm, and the AI algorithm will then take that information and spit out whatever images you need. Now, there's loads of AI generative image tools. Adobe have their own one. I believe it's here. It's called Adobe Firefly. As you can see here, it's currently in beta stage, but again, depending on when you're watching this, it may have already gone into the full stable condition. Now, those prompts is something that we will type into here. So let's say, for example, a man standing in water at sunset, right? We hit enter, and then obviously what Adobe will do is it uses those words that I've put in that certain way, and it will create an art. It will look through all its references and everything, and it will try and create something that it's kind of trying best to describe that phrase into an image. And once it's done that, it spits out an image. As you can see here, it's given me 4 versions, which I can either select from, or I can go back and change the prompt, right? So this is what we want. So we want a prompt. Now, prompts come in different ways and sizes. I like to use ChatGPT to give me a prompt because ChatGPT is learning and it uses a lot of data which a lot of people have put in to generate that information for us. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say in ChatGPT, I want to create a movie poster image, but I need a prompt for Midjourney. Now I'm using Midjourney to generate my image. However, I will use the same prompt in Adobe Firefly just to show you the difference between them. But I need the prompt for Midjourney and also give me some information about the movie itself. We'll let ChatGPT do its thing, and then obviously it's going to spit out some information for us. Now, what we're hoping is it's going to give us the prompt that we're going to put into Midjourney, and also it's going to give us some information about the movie so that we know what kind of genre, theme, and other stuff that we will need to make sure that this poster is obviously correct. So while it does that, we can see here it's giving me the title Midjourney itself. The prompt, it says here, it's embark on an unforgettable odyssey that transcends time and space. Now the title is it's a sci-fi, it's directed by Alex Chen, and obviously it's starring some fictional characters and all that's nonsense, right? So it says, in a world plagued by a mysterious phenomenon known as the temporal rapture, a brilliant young scientist named Dr. Emily Marshall, played by Emily Johnson, discovers a groundbreaking invention that could alter the course of human existence. As she dives deeper into her research, Emily realizes that her invention has the power to manipulate time itself. Awesome. Right, so I like that. Right, so I'm going to take that prompt. I'm going to open my Midjourney. And here we are. And inside Midjourney, now I'm going to paste, before I paste it, you must put the word /imagine, put the prompt in there. I'm going to add a few things in there because I think ChatGPT has missed out a few prompts which I might like, which I want to include, right? So, an unforgettable odyssey that transcends time and space, a woman in a lab coat, standing. What else we want? We want it to be cinematic, in space. That's it. I think that should be fine. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to hit enter, and then obviously Midjourney is going to do the same thing Adobe did and spit out an image. Now, at the same time, I'm going to take the same prompt. I'm going to head over to Adobe Firefly. I'm going to paste the same text and I'm going to generate that. Now, the reason why I do that is because I just want to see what the difference. And this is where it's very important to know that different AI tools do spit out different type of information, right? And different types of imagery. So it's always rare to find the same AI tools doing the same thing, right? So clearly Adobe is giving me this type of images. Again, number 1, not too bad. Number 2, not too bad. Number 3 is kind of weird. Number 2 is kind of weird. Number 3 is okay. Number 4 is okay. I'm going to refresh it one more time. And in the meantime, let me see if Midjourney has done something. All right, Midjourney has done something for me. Open that in the browser so I can see a little bit more. Now, Midjourney by default gives you 4 low-res images, right? Once I like one, then I can upscale it, right? So until then, it gives me 4 different variations in the same image. Now, I really like number 1, right? Number 2, okay, it's got a bit of text in there which we can easily remove. Number 3, again, not bad, but I really, really like number 1, right? I really like number 1. Let's see what Firefly has done. Again, I really like number 3. Number 4 is a bit too small for me, so what I think I'm going to do is I might go for number 1 here, right, from Midjourneys. So let me go back to Midjourney, and then I'm going to say upscale number 1. I click on that, and then it's going to upscale it, right? It's going to give me a high-res image, right? So if I click on that, click on Open Browser, you can see it's upscaled the image for me. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that image. And I'm going to put it into lesson 4. I'm going to make a folder called images so that you guys have access to this as well. And I'm just going to call this lady in lab coat. I'm going to save that. Right, now that I have that, I'm going to move away, push the browser out for now, and I'm going to drag in our image into Photoshop. Right, so I'm going to scale it just until the edges are covered. Done that, I'm going to press enter. And then now that obviously we have the image, it's clearly cut from the top and cut from the bottom. Now we obviously need to fill that in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the selection tool, the marquee selection tool. I'm going to drag the top half, and I'm also going to drag, while holding the shift key, drag the bottom half. So both sides are selected, the top and the bottom, and you'll see here this toolbar that will come across, and we can click generative fill. Now once I've done that, it gives me this prompt, same thing as Midjourney, everything else. It asks, what do you want me to fill this in with, right? So we can fill it in with anything. If we want to have a description, we can type it in. But one thing Photoshop is great at is if you fill nothing in and just click generate, it does its best to try and fill it based on the rest of the image, right? So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to click generative fill, and we're going to fill that in, and just give it a second to do its thing. And then once it's done that, what you'll see and what you'll have is it'll fill in the rest of the image. Now, I like the top, but something's going on at the bottom here. Now again, what Photoshop does is, if you can see on the right hand side, it gives you different options, right? It gives you different options to cycle from. Now, I quite like this. I definitely don't like this, and I definitely don't like this. It makes it look very short. So I'm going to go for the second option, because the thing is, I'm going to put the titles there and everything, so I know that the leg part is going to be covered. So I'm not too fussed about that. So I'm going to double click on that. And then at the bottom, you can see on the layer section, it's created a generative layer there. So if I undo that, you can see it's non-destructive, right? Which is amazing. So what's next? So if you go back to our ChatGPT, it says the title is Midjourney, right? If I take that, just push that to the side, I might actually want her to be slightly up further. There we go. And then what I'm going to do for the bottom section is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to select that. I'm just going to click Generative Fill and Generate. Now, I will explain more about prompts later on in the lessons, about how to use prompts and what type of prompts words work very, very well when using this generative AI tool. But for now, we're just going to let Photoshop predict everything for us, just to save us some time, okay? So there we go. So now that it's done that, I've got the rest of the section there. I'm going to just merge these two layers together, and I'm going to start putting the text in. So I'm going to grab the text tool, and I'm just going to paste that. I've got some weird fonts selected. Let's select a big bold font, right? So I'm just going to drag that in. I'm going to drag it to the middle. I'm going to maybe make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And what else do we want? So we've got that. We also know, where is the, there we go. We also know that it's directed by Alex Chen. So I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to put a nice smaller text just above it. Reduce that. Let's pick Futura. I quite like that font. Right. And we're also going to just move some of the, grab the options. We're just going to space the text out a little bit. Where is it? Here we are. And we're going to capitalize it at the same time. There we go. And we're just going to make it small. Push it. Oh. Got the auto select on. And we're going to push the Alex Chen in the middle. And we're just going to add a film by, right? I'm going to put it here, and we're saying starring, I believe her name was Emily Johnson. There we go. In fact, just to make it a little bit better, we're going to put that there on a new line, and we're going to make this starring a little bit smaller. We've got Emily Johnson, David Parker, and Olivia Wong. There we go. Right. So, oh, don't want to change the font there. Now that that's done there, what else do we need? We need maybe some footer text, right? Some of that cinema jargon. Now, I have, where is it? A font, I believe. Right, I'm just going to save some time here, and drag in something that I've already, there we are, save a file. Oh. Alright, just trying to find the, right, click on the text, type some stuff out, and I believe it's the bold font. No, it's not the bold font. It is called, what's the font called? We'll have it. It will come up here sometime. It is called called Squirrel, I believe. No. Here we are. Found the font. So it is called, there we go. I'm going to open this, and I've just basically got some demo movie credits in there, so I'm just going to drag that into the bottom. I'm going to size them all down. Put that at the bottom there. And obviously what else we need? We need the date that it's going to be created. Released. And it says it's going to be released in fall 2023. So I'm going to put that there. In fact, I might move the film by Alex Chen here. Make it a little bit better. Right. So in later lessons, what I'm going to show you is some really great AI font and text filters that we can use. But for now, we're just going to try and make something very simple and easy. We've got that. So let's perhaps maybe, I don't know, let's say this is a Netflix. I'm just searching for a Netflix logo. There we go. Let's save this in the images. So then now, if I drag in the Netflix logo, and just put that maybe above it there, and just move this down a little bit, push this down. Oh, the wrong layer. There we go. Push that down a little bit. Yeah, I quite like that. Perfect. Let me just move this out of the way for now. I think that's good. It's great. We could do some, like I said, we can do some different font choices or different colors to the font, but that's something we're going to go through later on. But for now, I just wanted to really show you a quick introductory on how we've created something from nothing, right? So we've created an entire movie with the characters and the style and a theme and everything, and you can see from here that it's a sci-fi film. It's an imaginative one. It doesn't exist, but at the same time, it feels like it can exist. So I'm just going to save this as the final file, so that you have it in case you want to reference it. But really, with that, it's going to be where am I? Yeah. So with that, you can see it's really easy to just quickly put something together. I mean, that took us probably a couple of 5-10 minutes or something to put that together, and it's already something that you can present. Now, this could be a great way to start an idea or a story that you're working on, or if you have a concept art that you want to just see how things would work, it's a great way. Instead of having to do a photo shoot and find sourced images from stock websites and stuff like that, you can get this done very quickly. So what we're going to do now in the next lesson is we're going to go in and we're going to actually work on some AI selection tools. How we're going to see how things work when you want to select certain parts of images and mask them and such like that. So if you're ready and you're happy with this, or if you want to go back and rewatch this just to really kind of understand the whole concept, feel free. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.